They call him a billionaire now. Mr. Jason O'Keezy, CEO of 3 companies, owner of 8 properties, man of the moment. But tonight, he sat alone. No smile, no joy, just him and a half-empty glass. Rain knocked small against the window, but inside that room, it was cold like cemetery. He stared at nothing, eyes dry, heart tired. I never told her, he said to himself, not the media, not the staff, not even the friends close to him. He never told the woman who raised him that he made it, that he became something, that the boy she said was useless now had more than enough. And why? Because she threw him out like expired bread. At just 10 years old, he remembered it clear. No twist, no confusion. That day, he came home from school. No food, stomach empty, mind heavy. "Mama," he had said, "I'm hungry." The woman looked at him like she saw a ghost. No pity, no care. "You still day here?" she barked. "You this useless pekin', you go kill me? You be cursed, you no be my child." She rushed at him. Slap from the left, then broom from the right. "You no be my blood," she shouted. "You be mistake, bastard, get out from my house." And just like that, he became homeless. No warning, no preparation. 1 nylon bag with 2 old shirts and his broken toy car. Rain soaked him. Streets ignored him. Nobody helped. And her? She locked the door, turned off the light, went to sleep. Jason walked and walked. That night felt like a nightmare, but it was real. His bruises were real. The hunger, real. The loneliness, realer. From that day, he learned one thing: no one's coming to save you. He built himself brick by brick, pain by pain, betrayal by betrayal. And when he finally had money, real money, he made a decision. She will never know. He changed his name, went quiet on socials, hid from press, never gave interviews, not even his driver knew where he came from. Because how do you forgive a woman who said you were nothing, who called you cursed? People asked him, "Sir, what about your family?" He just smiled. "They're dead." And to him, they were. She was. Because the day she threw him out, something inside him died. That woman, she made sure he knew he wasn't wanted. He wasn't blood. He was baggage. So why should he ever go back? But life always twists a story in the end. Because what Jason didn't know, the thing that would change everything, was this. That woman he hated. The one he ran from. The one who said, "You're not my blood," was his real mother. He just didn't know it at the time. Jason was just a boy, 10 years old, thrown into a world that didn't care if he breathed or vanished. No bed, no food, no roof, just rain, hunger, and shame. He slept on gutters, sometimes under broken kiosks, sometimes beside parked buses. The cold, it felt like punishment. The mosquitoes, they feasted like kings. And the hunger, it came like war. Every night he hugged himself tight, whispering, "Don't die. Just don't die." People passed him like he was invisible. Some stepped over him. Some looked at him like trash. One woman even said, "This is why I didn't born boy. Too stubborn." Jason heard everything, felt everything, but he didn't cry anymore. His tears dried up the night he ate from the dustbin behind Mama Ibuka's buka. Bread, half-eaten, green at the edges. He didn't care. That's where he met Deal. Deal was taller, older, maybe 13. He wore one shirt, too big for his neck, and slippers with only one strap left. Jason was digging the bin when he heard Deal shout, "Oh boy, you want die? You dey chop that thing raw like say your life no mean anything?" Jason looked up. "You get better food?" Deal didn't answer. He just walked away. Jason thought he lost him, but 10 minutes later, Deal came back, holding 2 pieces of bread wrapped in old newspaper. He handed one to Jason. That moment, Jason would never forget it. That bread tasted like peace. They sat on a slab by the roadside and ate in silence. No questions, no pity, just shared survival. That night, Delay took him to his spot, under the old flyover near Yaba. "This my side," Delay said, "but from today, na our side." From that night, they became like brothers. They begged together, picked bottles, pushed, wheelbarrow sometimes. Daly knew all the hiding spots in the market. He taught Jason how to dodge police, how to pretend mad when big men come, how to smell when a fight day near. "We go leave this life," Deal used to say. "We go make am. Me and you. No woman, no father, just us." And Jason believed. He believed so much that he stopped sleeping with fear. They used to sit and dream. "One day I go get my own shop," Deal would say. "You go be my manager," Jason would laugh. "Lie. I go be boss. You go work for me." They laughed, loud, like boys who still had hope. Then came Mr. Tega. He owned a shoe stand not far from the bridge. Old man, shouted too much, but paid little money if you cleaned his stand. One morning, Jason and Deal cleaned his stall so well, it sparkled. Mr. Tega said, "Make Una come tomorrow. I go pay Una small." That was how they got their first job. They started working, there daily, cleaning shoes, polishing, carrying water, sweating, but happy. They saved money, small. They even opened one old paint bucket under the slab. That was their bank. Life still hard, but it had rhythm. Till one morning, Jason woke up. The bucket was gone. The paint bucket. The money. Gone. He looked around. Deal. Gone too. First thought, maybe Deal went to fetch water. 1 hour passed. Then 2. Then night fell. Still no Dealy. He didn't come back. Jason searched, asked around. Nothing. Days passed. One market boy whispered, "You know here, Deal don jackpot. Him say he no fit suffer forever. Him don follow one Yahoo boy enter." Ogun. Jason froze. All their dreams, all their savings, all their plans. Gone. With the only person who ever gave him bread. Jason sat by that same slab and stared into space. So even the street get betrayal. He asked no one. He was shaking, not from hunger this time, from heartbreak. His only brother, his only friend. Left. "That friend," Jason said. God, he betrayed me worse than the street." By age 16, Jason wasn't the same boy crying in gutters. The streets had shaped him, made his skin thick, his heart hard, his eyes sharp. He moved from shoe stand to helping traders at La Depot Market, lifting used car engines, cleaning grease, pushing trolleys. It was hell, but at least it was hell with some structure. That's where he met Deal again. Yes, that Deal. The same one who vanished with their savings 3 years ago. The same one Jason swore to forget. But life no dey ask permission before twisting knife. Jason was loading tires when he turned and saw him, standing there smiling, clean shirt, fresh sneakers. "Guy, you done blow?" Jason said, half laughing, half confused. Deal grinned. "You go just a vex. You no say I no forget you. I needed to hustle sharp. I get connect for spare parts now. I de serious." Jason wanted to punch him, but hunger held his fist, so he listened. Deal talked big, said they could start a small trade in car parts, buy used batteries, tires, resell. "Nah small runs," he said. "Just you and me like old times. No lie this time, I swear." Jason didn't believe him, but he believed the hunger in his stomach more. So they started again, saved up, borrowed a little, made small deals, bought parts from mechanic yards and resold them at markup. They hustled. Dal brought energy. Jason brought calculation. Weeks passed. The money grew. Not much, but better than nothing. Jason started to smile again, even laugh. One day, they sold 6 used alternators and made more profit than they had in 2 months. That night, Jason bought bread and Coke for both of them. They sat outside a closed shop, feet dusty, hands oily. Jason said, "Dealy, you remember that slab we'd sleep under? Guy, we'd make 'em o." Deal nodded, quiet. He smiled small, but something in his eye didn't match his face. Jason didn't notice. Next morning, Jason got to the kiosk early. He waited and waited. Deal didn't show. He called. Number off. He checked the small wooden drawer they kept their cash. Empty. His breath caught. His legs weak. A folded note lay inside. Jason opened it with trembling hands. It read, "You too slow. I don't need you. I want more. Enjoy your grease life." That was it. Jason staggered backwards. Everything spun. His ears rang. He ran to the other sellers. Nobody saw Dealey. Nobody helped. That evening, 2 plainclothes policemen showed up. Someone had filed a report. They dragged Jason by his shirt, said he was involved in a theft case. Deal had registered the business in Jason's name before disappearing. Jason was locked in a cell that smelled like old urine and crushed dreams. They slapped him, beat him, told him to talk, but he had no words. He just sat there, broken. All he could say was, "I trusted him." 3 days. 3 days of stinking floor, rotten food, mosquitoes that bit through clothes, and nobody came. Nobody. No friend, no family, nothing. Just the echo of betrayal in his head. The only person who ever gave him bread had stolen his life. Again. On the 4th day, something strange happened. A man walked into the cell block. Clean shirt, gold watch, dark face, stern eyes. He said, "Who is Jason?" Jason lifted his head slowly. The man stared, then nodded. "I want him out." The officers looked confused, but the man gave them papers, spoke with weight. 5 minutes later, Jason was free. He didn't even ask who the man was. He just stood, outside the station, dazed. The man walked up to him and said only one thing. "The world may hate you, but I don't." Jason blinked. That day, he almost died, but he met someone. After that betrayal in jail, Jason stopped trusting men, but he still had a soft spot for kindness. That's what got him caught. It started on a Wednesday. Heat, they beat everybody for garage. Oil, they boil. Tempers, they high. Jason, they bend over. One tire rim, hands black with grease, sweat pouring like rain. Then she walked in. Her name, Amara. She was just looking for her brother's car. Simple blouse, eyes sharp, voice like cold Fanta. She looked around, confused. Jason cleaned his hands, stood up. "You need help?" She smiled small. "You know where they park Honda Accord?" Jason nodded, pointed, showed her where. She said, "Thanks. You they sweat too much? Wait." Before he could answer, she came back with a sachet of water. Gave him one. Opened the other for herself. That water tasted like heaven. That moment, something in Jason shift. Nobody gave him anything for years. Not like that. Not without agenda. That night, he couldn't sleep. Her smile was stuck in his head like old song lyrics. Next day, he waited at the gate, pretending to clean tools. She came again, said hi, asked how he day. Jason smiled like fool. Then it became routine. Every time she came around, they'd talk. Small gist, small laughter. She asked about his story. He told her bits. She didn't judge. He told her about betrayal, about Delhi, about the streets. She said, "I'm proud of you." Those 4 words? Sweet like sugar and cold pap. That night, Jason began saving, not just for himself anymore, for both of them. He took extra shifts, slept less, ate less, every naira counted. He was planning a ring. He was planning forever. He imagined her in white. He imagined a small wedding. He imagined them laughing with kids. He forgot his pain. He forgot the streets. She was the healing he didn't know he needed. Until one Sunday, he finished washing cars. Boss man called him. "Jason," he said, "go drop this car at my girlfriend's house." She'd wait for it. Jason agreed. He didn't ask who. He just drove. Reached the compound. Rang bell. Gate opened, and there she stood. Amara. In shorts. No makeup. Holding boss man's shirt. She froze. Jason froze harder. Silence hung in the air like gunpowder. He tried to speak. She beat him to it. "Please don't make this awkward," she said. Jason's voice cracked. "So, he's the one." She looked away. "I didn't mean to hurt you. I just thought you knew." "Knew what?" "That we're not in the same world, Jason." He took one step back. She added, "You're not my type. I pitied you." Jason didn't move. He didn't cry. He just nodded, handed her the car keys, walked away. She called his name. He didn't turn. That night, he sat on the rooftop of the garage. Stars above. Silence around. Fire in his chest. He whispered to the sky, "So, even love na scam?" He remembered the water. He remembered her smile. He remembered the ring he almost bought, and then he whispered, loud enough for God to hear, "I swore, no more love, only money." Heartbreak can do 2 things to a man: break him or build him. Jason chose the second. After Amara, after that slap from love, something inside him shifted. The boy who once begged for food now fed on books. Not just any books, but tech books. Ones nobody else at the garage even touched. How? There was a public library 1 hour from the workshop. No one went there because the AC was dead, the chairs smelled like old socks, and the internet was trash. But it had books. Books that changed his life. Every evening after work, Jason cleaned his hands, changed shirt, and walked to that place like a man going to war. He picked up books on phones, apps, basic programming. At first, the codes looked like gibberish, but Jason wasn't scared of confusion. His whole life had been one. So he studied, watched free tutorials on dusty computers, practiced on demo sites. He stole internet from nearby cafes when library Wi-Fi failed. He stayed late till the guard chased him out. 6 months in, he was building things on paper. 8 months in, he built a prototype. He called it Fix It, a mobile app where users could book nearby phone repair guys. Kind of like Uber, but for cracked screens and dead batteries. It wasn't perfect, but it worked. And when something works, it spreads. First, his garage friends laughed. "Guy, who, go use that Kane thing? Na phone app go remove you from poverty?" He didn't argue. He just uploaded the app on a free Play Store site. Then, one day, boom. 1 user turned to 10. 10 to 100. Then, one YouTuber in Lagos made a short review video. Downloads crossed $20,000. People were booking repairmen. The system was crashing. Jason was sleeping inside the office now, on a thin mattress with wires and noodles beside his leg. No rent, no rest, just passion. He borrowed a generator from the mechanic next door. He hired 2 guys to help respond to emails. Then the calls started. Investors. Big ones. some from Abuja, some from tech hubs in Lekki. They wanted to talk. Jason walked into those meetings, with one trouser and ironed shirt, still smelling of engine oil. But when he spoke, they listened. He had numbers. He had proof. He had pain in his voice. One investor said, "You have fire. We like fire." He got his first funding, 5 million naira. He cried in the toilet, alone. Not because he was weak, but because he had fought too long. He upgraded Fix-It, made it smoother, started getting brand deals, registered the company as Fix-It Mobility, Yitilalti. He was 23. He was finally seeing light, but the light didn't bring warmth. He looked at his new office, empty, shiny, cold. The money was good. The growth was real. But his heart? Still heavy. That night, after seeing his first bank alert with 7 zeros, Jason sat in the dark office. No noise, just him and his thoughts. He picked up his phone, scrolled to Contacts. There it was, the number. The one he hadn't called in years. The one saved as that woman. His hand hovered. He wanted to call her, wanted to say, "I made it," wanted to ask, why, but he didn't. He dropped the phone, wiped his face, and whispered, "First, million came. I cried alone. I wanted to call my mother, but stopped." By now, Jason had it all. The cars, the office with glass walls, staff in suits, cameras flashing whenever he stepped out, magazines begging for cover shoots, Forbes Africa sending emails. But his face? Never showed. No interview, no press, no LinkedIn post with motivational caption. People called him the silent CEO. Some thought he was shy. Some said he was mysterious. Some even said he was arrogant. But the truth, he just didn't want the world to find out where he came from. He didn't want his mother to see him and try to come back. His past was a locked box, and he buried the key. His assistant, Aisha, sharp girl from Jos, smart like fire, one day asked him, "Oga, why you know they talk about your mom?" Jason was typing. He paused, hands on keyboard. He turned slowly, looked her dead in the eyes. "She buried me before I lived," he said. Aisha blinked. Jason stood up, walked to the window. "You know what it means to be 10, and be told you know, get value." He didn't wait for an answer. "She told me I wasn't hers, that I was cursed, that my existence was punishment. I bled from broom marks and walked barefoot in storm. That woman is not my mother. She's my wound." Aisha said nothing, just nodded softly and stepped out. Jason stared out that window for long. Below, Lagos moved. Traffic crawled. Life kept going. But inside him, still silence. Fame came. Riches followed. He bought houses in 3 countries, flew private, signed checks in millions, built tech solutions even foreign companies copied. But he never smiled from the heart. He never told jokes. He never danced. Every birthday party his staff planned, he never attended. He'd rather sit alone, sipping tea, staring at nothing. At night, he'd lie on his king-size bed, lights off, and whisper, "Why did she do it?" No answer came, just memory. The slap, the scream, the lie. "You are not my blood." He started dreaming strange dreams. Sometimes he was back in that gutter. Sometimes he was 10 again, knocking at a locked door that never opened. Sometimes he saw her, holding another child, laughing. He would wake up sweating, chest tight. Even with 10 staff in his mansion, he felt like the only soul on earth. Then, one day, it happened. A letter came. Not an email, not a message, a real letter. Brown envelope, rough edges, no stamp, just one sentence on the front. Please, just read. Jason opened it. His heart dropped. The handwriting was shaky. Inside were 5 lines. Jason, I don't know where you are, but I think of you every day. I'm dying. Please let me see you once. Mama! He dropped the letter. His breath froze. He picked it up again. Read it twice, 3 times. His hands were trembling, not from fear, from anger, from confusion, from pain that refused to stay buried. He sank into the couch. The past rushed in like floodwater, the beatings, the rejection, the street. And now, she wanted to see him. Dying, he held the letter close, smelled it, felt something sharp in his chest. His lips parted, but no words came. Then he whispered, "One day, I got a letter." She was dying. Jason didn't tell anyone, not his assistant, not his driver, not even the staff that tracked his calendar like hawks. He just got into one of the older cars, no logo, no attention, and drove. 3 hours, no music, no smile, just him and that letter, folded, flattened, read until the ink almost faded. He arrived at the hospital just before sunset. It was a government one. Old building, paint peeling like old skin, air smelled like medicine and memory. He didn't go through the main entrance. He asked the gateman in low voice, "Room 14, where the old woman, Day?" The man pointed. He walked. Each step felt like a decade. His heart beating like it wanted to escape. When he reached the room, he paused, his hand on the door. This was it, after all the years, all the silence, all the hurt. He opened it gently. There she was, the woman who raised him, the one who said he was a mistake. Lying. On the bed like death was whispering in her ear, she looked small now. Thin, weak, fragile. Nothing like the thunderstorm that beat him at 10. He stepped in quietly. She didn't turn. She just stared at the ceiling, mouth open a little, breathing like each one was a fight. He moved closer, looked at her face. That face he once feared. That face he used to call Mama. She didn't recognize him. She didn't blink, didn't move. He stood there, silent, watching, waiting. No words. Came out, then a nurse walked in. Young girl, eyeglasses, tired eyes. "Oh," she said. "Are you family?" Jason didn't answer. The nurse smiled faintly. "She's been asking for her son all week." Jason's chest tightened. "She's very sick, doesn't remember much, but always calls your name. Jason, right?" He blinked. Slow. Numb. The nurse continued. "But strange thing, her real son died at birth. That's what I heard from one of the old doctors here. She raised another woman's baby. Something about a mix-up or secret adoption. I don't know the full gist." Jason's world stopped. The air in the room disappeared. He looked at the woman again. His whole life he thought she was his stepmother. He thought she hated him because he wasn't her blood. But now they say he wasn't even hers. Not biologically. He stumbled backwards, sat on the plastic chair like his knees gave up. He whispered, "So, I was never her real son?" His voice cracked. The nurse looked confused. "Sorry, sir, I didn't mean to upset you." He shook his head. "No, it's fine." But it wasn't. Nothing was fine. The woman on the bed, eyes now half open, turned a little. She mumbled, "Jason." He froze. She said it again, softer. "Jason, my boy." He stared. Confused? Broken. He didn't know if he wanted to hug her or walk out and never look back. Everything he thought was truth? Now tangled in secrets. That face he hated for years? Now a puzzle he couldn't solve. He didn't speak. He just sat. And for the first time since he became a billionaire, Jason felt like a lost child again. Jason didn't sleep that night. He drove around town like a ghost with a steering wheel. Rain started falling at midnight, but he didn't stop. He just kept moving, like motion could drown the noise in his head. So, I was never her son, it looped in his mind, like a broken record scratching the edge of his soul. By morning, his eyes were red, his hands tight on the wheel, his whole body tense like he was bracing for impact that had already come. Then he remembered her. The woman from church. The one who used to give them food sometimes when they were kids. The one who his mother always avoided. He didn't know her name, just remembered her wrapper, her soft voice, her prayers. He drove to the old part of town, found the church gate rusted, half open, parked. She was there, sweeping the front steps. Gray hair wrapped in scarf, eyes sharper than her age. She looked up. "Jason." He nodded. She stared for a second, then wiped her hand on her wrapper and walked over. "Now God bring you," she said. He didn't say anything, just stood there. "I know why you're here," she added, softer now. "You finally found out, Abby." He swallowed. She motioned for him to come inside. They sat on a wooden bench beside the church wall. She reached under the bench, pulled out a nylon bag, carefully unzipped it. Inside were old photographs, birth papers, a fading envelope. She handed him the first photo. A woman, younger. Same eyes as Jason. "That's your mother," she said. Jason froze. "She died giving birth to you. There was complication. Bleeding. They couldn't save her." He stared at the photo. His hands shook. "She was my best friend. We grew up together. Her name was Ada." Jason's lips moved, but no sound came. The woman continued. "Her husband, your father, he was away on contract work. When the news reached him, your stepmother, his second wife, already came to the hospital." Jason blinked. "Wait. Second wife?" She nodded slowly. "Yes, but not legally. Secretly. She was jealous of Ada. Ada had the man's love, and now she was gone. But you were proof Ada existed." Jason gripped the photo tighter. "So what did she do?" "She told the hospital she would raise you, that she was sent by the family. Everyone believed her. Nobody asked. This was before tech, before records went online. She took you home and told your father you died." Jason gasped. His body went cold. "Yes," the woman said, voice heavy. "She told him Ada died, and the baby didn't make it. He cried for both of you, and left." Jason stood up slowly, his breath short. "She told him." "I died?" he asked. The woman nodded. "All these years," Jason whispered. "My real father thought I was dead?" "Yes, because she wanted you gone." He reminded her of Ada, of the life she couldn't have, but she couldn't bring herself to kill you. "So she raised me?" "No, she tolerated you, fed you enough to keep you alive, and when you started to look too much like your mother, she couldn't bear it anymore. That's when she said those words, that you weren't hers, that you were cursed. She wasn't lying, but she wasn't telling the whole truth either." Jason sat down again, slower this time. The woman handed him the birth certificate. Name: Jason Adeobi. Mother: Ada Okwudili. No father's name listed. Then the envelope. Inside were letters, ones his real mother wrote while pregnant. Dreams, hopes, plans. "She wanted you," the woman said, "so badly." Jason wiped his face. Tears came now. Real. Buttons. "All my life," he whispered. "I hated her. I thought she threw me away." The church woman placed a hand on his shoulder. "You were never unwanted," she said gently. "You were hidden." Jason's voice broke. "And the worst part, she threw me out to keep her secret safe." Jason didn't return to his mansion that night. He drove to the hospital instead. Same place, same air, same cracked walls. But this time, he didn't walk like a confused man. He walked like someone who had finally seen the map. The real one. The one that showed him where he came from and who carved the detour. Before he even reached the room, he stopped by the admin office. Paid everything. Every last bill. "Make sure she's treated," he told the nurse. "No shortcuts. If she needs anything, you call me." They didn't ask questions. Money moves silently when it comes in full. Then he walked to her room. Door open. She was sitting up this time. Awake, weak, older, but alive. When she saw him, her eyes lit. She struggled to sit straighter. "Jason," she whispered, voice dry like dust. He didn't answer. He just walked in. She reached out a trembling hand. "Jason, you came back." He didn't touch her. He sat on the edge of the visitor chair. Stared, long, silent, then finally spoke. "I know everything." Her face shifted. He added, "The woman you buried. My real mother. Ada." She blinked, mouth slightly open. "I met someone," Jason continued. "She showed me the truth, the papers, the letters, the lies." The woman on the bed closed her eyes. Silent. Tears pushed past the corners. "I didn't want to hurt you," she said. Jason scoffed. "You beat me. You starved me. You threw me in rain. But that's not what hurt most." She looked at him. "It's the silence," he said. "The way you let me believe I was nothing, that I didn't belong. When I was the only piece left of a woman you hated." She cried now, gently, with shaking shoulders. "I was jealous," she whispered. "Ada had everything. The man, the love, the home. And when she died, I couldn't take seeing you. You looked like her. Every day." Jason stood. "I get it," he said. "You were broken. You were bitter." She nodded. "But I raised you." "You tolerated me," he replied. "That's different." She reached out again. "Please, I just want you to say it, that you forgive me." Jason stared at her hand. Long. Then he said, "I forgive you." She smiled through tears. "My son." Jason shook his head. "No." Her smile faded. "You're not my mother," he said softly. "You were my punishment, and I survived you." She gasped. Jason stepped back. "I came to say this to your face. Not for you. For me." He turned, walked to the door, paused, then added, "You buried me with lies, but I built my life from that grave." And with that, he left. Jason walked out of the hospital like a man freed from a chain that no one else could see. No music, no claps, no loud air, just peace. For the first time in his life, he wasn't angry. He wasn't confused. He was whole. He stood by the car for a while, looking at the sky like he could finally breathe, like every breath now had value. He got in, but he didn't drive home. He drove to the church, that same old place with cracked walls and holy dust. The woman who told him the truth was there, sitting on the same bench, tying a scarf. He walked up and handed her a brown envelope. She opened it, blinked twice, then looked up. "Jason." "What is this?" he said. "It's yours." She looked inside again. It was house papers, title deed, a new home. "No rent, no landlord, no struggle," he said. "You gave me truth. Let me give you rest." The woman burst into tears. Jason hugged her, held her like a son would hold his mother. That day, they prayed together. No cameras, no speeches, just healing. From there, he went somewhere else, the place he used to call home, not the mansion. Not the mansion with glass doors and imported chairs, but the street, the one with the gutter he used to sleep beside. He stood there, looking at the slab, the same one where he first ate Deal's bread, the same place where his childhood died. He brought food, hot meals, bags of rice, water, bread, for the boys on the street now, the ones who looked like his past. He didn't wear a suit. No one knew who he was, just one man. Giving back. A boy approached him, barefoot, hungry eyes. Jason handed him food. The boy said, "Thank you, sir. God bless you." Jason nodded. He wanted to say, "I was you once," but he didn't. He just smiled. Before leaving, he walked to a corner, the corner where he once cried at 10 years old, shaking in the cold. He sat there again, not to suffer, but to remember, to honor the boy who never gave up. Then, he stood up, straight, tall, strong, and he walked away. No escort, no noise, just quiet. Footsteps on a street that once tried to kill him. As he walked, the camera in your mind zooms out. No music, just his voice, low, raw, steady. He whispered, "I became a billionaire, but I never told her. She didn't deserve to know."